Fever dub!
Bow, bow, bow.
Dub in the chat.
A W.
Wins in a row, a season high. Just how have you been able to find that rhythm over this stretch?
I think it's been about, we've had some practice.
Finding ways to get wins, and that's going on some scoring bursts. That's being able to rely on multiple players, getting stops when.
The Indiana Fever just pulled off something that would have sounded impossible 3 months ago. They're now for games above .500 for the first time since 2015. And here's the kicker. They did it without Caitlin Clark on the court. But that's not even the wildest part. Everyone expected the Fever to struggle without their superstar. Instead, they turned in a historic performance, shattering for franchise records in a single game against Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings. Even crazier? The heroes of the night weren't household names, to players who weren't even on the roster to start the season just rewrote the script. Ari McDonald and Chloe Bibby Dodd. So what records did they break? Let's just say it involved standout performances from Kelsey Mitchell, Alia Boston, Natasha Howard, and those two new names Fever fans won't forget anytime soon. If you're riding with the Fever, smash that like button and drop a comment. I've got the Fever, let's go.
This is nothing. Practicing has definitely tuned us up, fine-tuning as far as the details. We knew before All-Star that, the second half of the season is always about people making adjustments, people finding ways to stop what we have to do. And I think that on us, we try to do a good job of staying locked in at practices and shoot-arounds and all that kind of stuff to be where we need to be.
Severion thought the Fever would fall apart without Caitlin Clark, but what happened instead felt almost magical. Picture this. It's August 1st. Clark is on the bench for her 6th straight game, still nursing that groin injury from July 15th. No return date in sight. Meanwhile, the Dallas Wings move the game to American Airlines Center, the Mavericks' home court, hoping for a momentum shift. Paige Bueckers is leading the charge, desperate to snap a brutal 2-2-8 skate over their last 10. The stage was set. The pressure was high, and everyone was asking the same question. Could the Fever keep their red-hot run alive without their superstar at the helm?
When needed, making adjustments and continuing to grow. I mean, this is a group that's been resilient all season long, and I think that we have such quality depth that we can rely on one another, and rely on one another in certain moments.
That opening tip told you everything you needed to know about this Fever squad. They came out swinging with something to prove. No hesitation, no waiting around for someone else to step up. This wasn't about surviving. Without Caitlin Clark, this was a statement. Kelsey Mitchell wasted no time taking the reins. She attacked the rim with purpose, buried shots with confidence, and set a tone that echoed loud and clear. We're not backing down. Mitchell finished with 23 points on 9 of -19 shooting, leading the charge and shouldering the role Clark usually plays. She didn't just fill the gap. She reminded everyone why she led the league in scoring all through.
I think the biggest thing with Ari is that she's dependable, and she's dependable not always for production, but she understands the impact that she can make in the game. And she understands how to do it, starting it on the defensive end, pushing pace, dictating tempo, getting to the rim, creating shots for her teammates, all of those things. And she's got an incredible awareness. And so she understands when she's hot, and she understands when somebody else is hot and how to get them the ball. But I've just been really proud to see her confidence grow in our system and the ownership that she's taking in being that leader on the floor for us.
Paige Bueckers wasn't about to roll over. The rookie phenom fired right back with 22 points on 7 of -14, shooting, adding for rebounds, for assists, and to steals. She was the only Wings player to hit double figures, showing exactly why she's already being called a 3-level scorer in her first WNBA season. What followed was a thrilling back-and-forth battle that kept fans glued to their screens. But here's where things took a turn, and not in a good way. The free throw disparity lit up social media. Dallas took 25 free throws to Indiana's 13, nearly double. Fans were quick to call out the officiating, with many accusing Bueckers of flopping to draw calls. Even Wings head coach Chris Klaims voiced frustration with the refs in the post-game presser. And then came the disaster. Jane Carrington, last year's most improved player, had a night to forget. She managed just 4 points while racking up 5 turnovers. Her lowlight? A wild, ill-advised shot in the final minute of the third quarter that left the crowd stunned. Her meltdown played a major role in Dallas unraveling down the stretch next.
Boston, the rebound to Mitchell. McDonald splits the D. Bibby, this is where she's good. She can extend the defense, and she's done it.
For that nice jumper.
Bueckers again, another double-digit game, 6 in the quarter. Here's Bibby, launches, buries the 3.
Bibby, don't do it like that.
When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard told the story. Indiana 88, Dallas 78. The Fever had just proved there's so much more than Caitlin Clark, and a supporting cast showed they could step up, take care of business, and win the games they're expected to win, with or without their superstar. Even head coach Stephanie White acknowledged it post-game, praising the team's ability to rise to the occasion and play with purpose.
You signed Chloe Bibby to a rest of season contract today. Just what impressed you about her on that 7-day and those 2 games she put in?
Well, number one, just the way that she fit in right away. She gives us a different look from that forward position with her ability to stretch the floor. And particularly in 2 games where we really needed to create space for AB to go to work inside, she was able to do that for us. She came in and she learned the system right away. It just was such an easy transition, and she's produced.
12 players who weren't even on the roster 3 months ago have just become the Fever's secret weapons. Meet Ari McDonald and Chloe Bibby, 2 mid-season pickups that flew completely under the radar. These weren't splashy signings, no big headlines, no bold predictions. Just quiet depth moves meant to keep the roster afloat. But now, they're turning out to be game changers for a team that's not just surviving, it's thriving. At the start of the season, Ari McDonald didn't have a team. She was unsigned, overlooked by the league. Then on June 25th, everything changed. After spending a short stint with the Fever on a hardship contract, Indiana brought her back with a rest-of-season deal, and she's been making the most of it ever since. Fast forward to a pivotal game against Dallas, and McDonald looked like she'd been running Indiana's offense all year. She dropped 15 points and 6 assists, controlling the pace, making the right reads, and showing poise beyond expectations. It came just after her career-high performance against Phoenix, where she proved she could shine under pressure. She could have looked up during one of her pinpoint passes and said, "Oh, aren't you an all-star?" before dishing it off to Sophie Cunningham for the bucket. That's what Indiana does better than anyone: share the ball, read the moment, and rise together. What set McDonald apart that night wasn't just the numbers. It was her feel for the game. Her point guard instincts were on full display, knowing when to accelerate, when to settle the team, and how to make others better. Head coach Christy Sides praised her for her natural court vision and leadership, calling her a point guard with a full understanding of her impact. Star guard Kelsey Mitchell put it best: "She's a blessing in disguise. She's dependable not just because of her production, but because she gets it," said Sides. "She starts on defense, pushes pace, controls tempo, creates shots for others, and plays with incredible awareness. She knows when it's her moment and when it's someone else's, and she always makes the right decision." In a season full of unexpected turns, Ari McDonald has quietly become one of Indiana's most reliable playmakers and one of its brightest surprises. Her confidence has grown with every game, and she's embraced her role as a leader on the floor. Then there's Chloe Bibby, who wasted no time making her mark. In limited minutes off the bench, Bibby knocked down to timely 3-pointers shots that weren't just impressive but essential. They shifted momentum, gave the Fever breathing room, and showed exactly why she's a valuable asset. Her ability to stretch the floor opened up space for teammates to operate, particularly in games where interior scoring was key. Coach Christie Sides praised Bibi's rapid integration into the system. She understood her role right away. Sides said, "She's a stretch forward and a shooter, and we didn't have that. She gave us something different, and she executed from the jump." As the broadcast called it, "Bibi, this is where she's good. She can extend the defense, buries the three. Bibi, don't do it like that." And just like that, after only 2 games on a 7-day contract, Bibi earned a rest-of-season deal. She filled a specific need the team had been searching for, and she did it with poise and precision. "You signed Chloe Bibi to a rest-of-season contract today," a reporter asked. "What impressed you about her?" "Well, first, how seamlessly she fit in," Sides replied. "She gave us spacing from the forward position at a time when we really needed it, especially to open things up for Aliyah Boston inside. She learned the system quickly and just produced." Together, McDonald and Bibi became surprise difference makers during a stretch that marked Indiana's best run since 2015. McDonald brought the point guard leadership the team lacked, while Bibi unlocked the offense with her shooting range. The Fever weren't just getting by without Caitlin Clark, they were thriving because players like McDonald and Bibi stepped into roles they were never expected to fill and absolutely delivered. But the story didn't end there. Well, the scoreboard told one tale. The real magic was in how these 2 unheralded players helped redefine Indiana's identity. While McDonald and Bibi were making headlines with their breakout performances, the Indiana Fever as a whole were quietly etching their names into the WNBA history books. For major milestones were hit in a single game more than just solid showings. These were record-breaking feats that redefined what this team could achieve. Let's start with the jaw-dropper. Aliyah Boston and Natasha Howard made WNBA history, becoming the first pair of teammates ever to record at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals each in the same game. That's right, in the entire history of the league. No duo had ever done it. Until now, Boston finished with 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Howard matched the energy with 11 points, a career-high 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block of her own. Boston's presence in the paint drew defenders and created open looks for others, while Howard cleaned the glass with the kind of authority that made it look like she was playing on a different level. Her 16 boards weren't just impressive, they were dominant. Meanwhile, Boston's consistency reached new heights with her 5th consecutive double-double, proving again why she's one of the most reliable bigs in the league. Watch the attention. "Boston gets it opens up so much for the guards," the broadcast noted. Howard with the rejection and then the no-look dish to Boston. That's elite basketball IQ. And the record setting didn't stop there. Kelsey Mitchell added her name to the league leaderboard, now holding the WNBA's top spot for most 20-point games since the All-Star break. Her 23 points against Dallas marked her 13th such game of the season, cementing her status as one of the league's premier scorers. Even when the offense hit cold stretches, Mitchell stayed hot, keeping Indiana in rhythm. She's the engine of this team, quietly torching defenses with her pull-ups,